Hello Ramen Nation, Chris Cobain here bringing you another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. I actually said the right game this time, which is hype. This is a battle I had a pretty decently long time ago against what I find to be one of the best battlers in my entire stream. His name is TheLindomar, as some of you might know him. A very, very good battler, and always puts up a very good fight, and this was a really awesome game with him, and I knew I had to upload it because it's just that good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team previews real fast. Nothing special about them this time. We've got Porygon Z, Dragalge, Crocodile, Jellicent, Furfrou, and Mega Beedrill on my side, and on Lindo's side we have the Doublade, the Crocodile, the Entei, the Mega Pidgeot, which is always fun, the X-Bot, and the Hitmontop. So his team is really, really powerful. He's got a lot of big threats in there. I know right off the bat that that's not a Sweeper Crook, that is a bulky Stealth Rocker Crook with Intimidate, which is becoming, actually, as far as I can tell on my stream, becoming maybe a little more common than just the Moxie Choice Scarfer one. Obviously, X-Bot hits like a truck. Obviously, Hurricane hits like a truck. Entei's probably banded. He's gonna have Flare Blitz. It's gonna hurt. Doublade is such a good setup Pokemon. Plus, my physical on Furfrou has nothing to touch it, being his moveset of his damaging moveset being Toxic and Return, which obviously neither do anything. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started right with the battle here. Now, I wasn't really sure what he was gonna lead. I had a feeling that it might be Crook, but it turns out he actually leads with Hitmontop. Now, I actually picked Porygon to try to Ice Beam the Crook because I'd outspeed and try to get him down as quick as possible, but obviously it's not going to work out, and I don't think I can kill this in one hit, and I do not want to take a close combat to the face. So instead I'm going to switch right out into Furfrou, also normal, but he takes about half, which is actually pretty impressive. But I know that I'm going to outspeed this. I know that I'm going to go get a Cotton Guard up and try to work with this. But I think he knows that as well, so he's going to switch immediately into his Crocodile as I go ahead and set up, I believe I set up my first Cotton Guard. No, I just went straight for Return. That is a ballsy play, Chris. That's a very ballsy play, especially considering I probably would have died. I guess I just predicted switch, whatever. So I'm going to go for Toxic here because I know he's going to set up Stealth Rocks. Like I said, he is a Wally set. So if I can Toxic a wall, he's not going to have any real recovery. He's not going to have any way to get rid of Toxic. It'll be a good thing for me. I can start to wear him down a little bit and break one of his walls down. He doesn't have a lot of bulk on his team. Well, he's got some physical, but not a lot of special bulk on his team. So if I can kind of break down a couple of his walls, I could set me up for later. Especially opening up Beedrill a little bit with one of his two Intimidators out my way. So I'm going to set up my first Cotton Guard there, and he's going to go ahead and use Knockoff, which is completely fine. He does absolutely crap-ass damage, but he does knock off my Rocky Helmet, which is a bit of a problem. That could be a good way for me to try to hurt Doublade if I needed it to in the future. You know, if he hits me with Sacred Sword or something, he'd take that damage. So now I'm going to predict a double here. I'm going to switch out into Leviathan. I was pretty positive at this point that he was going to go ahead and switch into a special attacker. He had done everything he wanted to do. He set up his rocks. He got the knockoff on my Rocky Helmet. So he's going to actually get the correct switch. He goes into Exploud and he's forced to switch right back out because he's predicting the Sludge Wave. And it's a less risky switch to switch into Crook, who can be fodder at this point, than switching into Blade and taking a hit. So I did predict the switch back into Crook, and I do go for Dragon Balls, but turns out I should have went for Surf. Surf would actually be more powerful even with adaptability. The reason I didn't is because it'd be a little more risky because I do very little damage with it to Exploud, and then he would hit me really hard with Boom Burst, obviously. So Crook actually takes that pretty well though, and won't even die to Toxic, so I switch into Furfrou to eat up this Earthquake real quick. And he still doesn't die to Toxic. And now, at this point in the game, I actually decided here that I didn't want Furfrou anymore. I knew that I could handle the Blade with something else, which I had to. Hitmontop is Jellicent fodder, more or less, because typically you don't care anything to hit him. outside of Sucker Punch, of course. And Entei I know I can handle otherwise too. So my plan here was actually to let Kroot kill me, die to Toxic, and then get a double switch going. But I picked the wrong move for that. I should have picked Toxic again. I picked Cotton Guard thinking that maybe he'd kill me. Anyway, but I should have just went for Toxic to let myself die instead. So that was a little bit of misplay. I did want the double, but I guess it works out okay because then I get to pick whatever I want to take on his Mega Pidgeot here, who obviously is just going to go ahead and fire off that No-Guard Hurricane in case I switch and Body for it. But like I said, I didn't feel like I needed him anymore. With Kroot down, I figured I could handle the rest of his physical attackers by myself. So I'm going to bring in Kroot here. Mine is the Scarf set. I know I can make use of this No-Guard and obliterate him with Stone Edge, but I know that the Blade or Hitmontop's coming in, so I go for Crunch. Crunch because, you know, neither Stone Edge or Crunch are going to hit Hitmontop very hard, so I might as well go for the one that serves me better in case he switches into Buster Blader, or Deblade, and I did, so. So at this point, now, in a replay, everything happens really fast, so you don't really see the thought process. This took him a while to pick to go into Exploit. I think I don't know if he either picked me to switch thinking Hitmontop was going to come in, or thought he could take 2 crunches and hit me, but neither end up happening. I stay in, I do about half, and he doesn't want to lose his Exploit that fast, so now he's forced to switch into Hitmontop, who obviously is going to eat that up. Obviously, Hitmontop was a much easier switch. I really think he just predicted me to switch out, thinking Hitmontop was coming in. So I'm actually going to switch into Leviathan at this point, with the crunch happening as he goes for that close combat. At this point, I was really I know Jellicent, like I said, can pretty easily wall him on most of his movesets, but I was really scared of Knockoff, so I didn't want to bring him in. They always carry either Knockoff or Sucker Punch, so I wasn't really sure what they could do here. But at that point, he doesn't, I guess there was nothing he had that he thought he could kill me with. He doesn't want to lose him, so he actually switches out, and I'm going to hit a Dragon Pulse on his Entei. That is amazing damage on an Entei. I'll take that all day. And I actually stayed in here because I wasn't sure he could kill me, unless he Earthquake, but he goes for Stone Edge and he gets a crit. I don't know if it mattered, but he kills me anyway, so that's okay. So now at this point, I can go into Beedrill. It's a hard time making predictions with Beedrill right here. I always want to go for Protect because I don't want to get obliterated, but then they always predict that, and then they go for, you know, a switch, and then my Protect is wasted and all that fun stuff, and I could have knocked off something or something of that nature, but oh well. Crap happens, right? So I do go for Protect at this point. It fails, but I know I can go for Protect again, and take this Fake Out, which was pretty obvious at this point. And this is actually, now, weird play, I'm intimidated, there's really no reason for me to stay in, but I do, and take the Sucker Punch and live and hit with Poison Jab. The reason I did that is because I knew that if he carried Sucker Punch, he would use it. And that'll help me out a lot, because now I know he's carrying Sucker Punch, and he's gonna have really no threat to Jellicent, which is the point there, so. Instead of bringing out Jellicent, though, I bring out something that can do a little better damage to his whole team. That is going to be my Adaptability Choice Spect Porygon Z. A lot of times you guys see him Scarf, but he is Spect because Kroot is Scarfed. But I don't want to go for the Tri-Attack because it's almost painfully obvious that the Doublade's coming in to try to take it. So I go for Thunderbolt instead, the best thing I can go for against that Doublade. And it does take him out. So he's going to bring Hitmontop back in here. And I know I could still do a good decent amount of damage with my Specs Thunderbolt to him, but I don't find a reason to. And now that I know he's not carrying anything that's going to threaten Pringles, I do switch into him, and that is going to completely 100% wall him at this point. So at this point, I have two options for this. I can either Scald and risk the Sucker Punch, or I can Will-O-Wisp and predict him switching Entei. I determined to go for Will-O-Wisp. It's a much less risky play, and I was pretty certain he wasn't going to bring in Entei to a potential Scald and waste him. So I just go for Will-O-Wisp. It works out. He takes that, Expel takes the Will-O-Wisp, which is not like a, oh my god, that's amazing deal, but I mean, it's damage, you know. So he ends up outspeeding me. Of course he does. I'm sassy nature, all that stuff, and he hits me with Boom Burst because of Scrappy. It does a powerful half to my special wall. That is how powerful this thing is. but because I'm so, he's so low on HP thanks to that crunch from earlier, I am able to take him out with just a Scald, which is good. So now it's 3-on-3. It's actually a really good match at this point. We both have some Pokemon lacking in some HP. He's going to bring up Avian again, and at this point, I'm going to go ahead and sack off my Porygon. I don't really think I need him at this point in the game. I was thinking to myself, I think I can kill both Pidgeot and Hitmontop with Jellicent, and I can take out Entei with Krook if need be. So I'm going to go ahead and let him die because I don't feel like I need him anymore. So now I can bring in Krook. I know I can Stone Edge here. I wasn't really worried about the Hitmontop. He's at kind of low HP at this point. So I do go for Stone Edge. He ends up staying in, which surprised me, but then he freaking tanks Stone Edge with like 1 HP. That's crazy. I don't know how bulky Pidgeot actually is. But I couldn't believe that. So I actually just planned on letting myself die here to a Hurricane, but he does end up switching to intimidate me. I guess just so he could kill me with Hitmontop. I'm not really sure though. So at this point, I'm gonna switch out because I know Fake Out's coming. Now I could let Krook die, but I figured I could switch into Pringles here and guarantee myself an easy heal real fast. Because he's going to be really either forced to switch out or he's going to Sucker Punch and it's not going to work. I know I have Krook in the back. If for whatever reason I need Krook, if he confuses me with Hurricane or something, I have a way to switch back out. That's why I would have saved Krook there instead of letting Krook die and healing on the Hitmontop after that. Because now I have a way to get myself out of confusion should the worst happen, I get haxed. So he does end up switching into Entei, and at this point to me, I was really just saying to myself, can I take a hit? Can I take a hit from him and from Pidgeot? And basically that's the game. He goes for Stone Edge, it does a massive amount. I'm pretty sure he was banded there. It does about half damage, but then I am able to counter back and kill him with Scald, making it 2-on-2. I know Pidgeot's coming in here. There's no reason he'd bring in Hitmontop. Hitmontop would just allow me to recover. So again, it was just basically down to could I tank a Hurricane, but instead he actually ends up going for Roost. We already saw his bulk in this, so that was actually a pretty good play on his part. But unfortunately, I do just enough and get the burn to where I'm now doing a basically half damage, and a little bit of hacks on my part there. He could have tried to Roost stall me a little bit. But unfortunately now he can't, and now he's going to be forced to go for Hurricane, so that ended up helping me can't speak. It helped me more than it hurt me because I got the leftovers at least. But didn't really matter because it didn't put me anywhere near death. I don't get confused, which is nice, because if I would have and then hit myself in confusion, I probably would have lost. And now his final Pokemon is that Hitmontop. I'm completely positive at this point he can't touch me in any way, shape, or form unless he gets Sucker Punch. So I'm not going to Scald, I'm not that dumb. I'm just going to go ahead and Will-O-Wisp instead. That's the only way he's going to touch me, and that is going to be the end of the Hitmontop. His moveset, I'm pretty positive, was Close Combat, Fake Out, Sucker Punch, and Bullet Punch. With obviously that Technician, so nothing he can do. The best move he could actually hit me with outside of Sucker Punch, if I don't allow him to, is Bullet Punch, which, will do all of like 5 HP, and then I'll recover it back with my leftovers, so. But that is the end of the game. Ends up being a 2-0, actually. Not really, though. Krook, I believe Krook was a Stealth Rock fodder at that point. I think even resisting it, I think he was at so low HP that even if I switched him in, Stealth Rock would have killed him. The only reason, like I said, he stayed alive at that point was just in case, If I would have got confused by Pidgeot, broke it, not hit myself, killed the Pidgeot, I could have switched into Krook, let him die to Hitmontop, and then brought back in Jellicent, as a non-confused Pokemon, and then Will-O-Wisp for the win, but not necessary, which is, thankfully, that game would have been over if he confused me and I hit myself in confusion. It might have been over, honestly, if I didn't burn him with that, because he probably would have roosted again. And if I didn't get the burn on the first Scald, I probably would have Will-O-Wisp to predict it, and then tried to like recover the next turn or something like that. I don't know, but didn't really matter because I did get the burn and he did go down, and I did get the victory, which is awesome. But really awesome game there. I really enjoyed that one. It's really hard to beat Lindo, so I was really happy I was able to, so of course I'm going to upload it to YouTube. But he's a really, really amazing battler, so I'll take what I can get, right? But anyway, that is it for this battle, you guys. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button at the bottom of the screen. It's going to help me out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you want all the fastest alerts to when my videos go up. I try to get a video out every couple days at least, every 3 days maybe, and then if something's going on, you know, maybe a little bit later than that. But I do my best to keep this, you know, the content rolling out. So, and if you guys haven't checked out my Twitch channel, I encourage you to do so over at twitch.tv/xchriscobain. I'll throw a link to that in the description. I stream 6 days a week. It's a really fun time. You can battle me there, all that other fun stuff. And it's the best place to talk to me live. So if you guys want to do that, I look forward to seeing you there. But that is it for me, you guys. So I will see you guys in the next video.